Okay, so you send over this whole collection of stuff about the Baccarat bar at the Bellagio
Mm-hmm.
in Las Vegas. And it's really quite the mix. We've got like TripAdvisor reviews and then like actual
Yeah.
menu details and even a write-up from Cigar Aficionado. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a pretty diverse set of sources.
It is. So I think our mission here really is to figure out like what is this place all about, you
Yeah.
know? For
Yeah.
someone like you or me who wants to like get a good deep understanding of things but doesn't want to like get lost in the weeds.
Right, exactly. We want to kind of distill it down to the essence of like what kind of experience can you expect at the Baccarat bar?
Exactly. So you walk in, you're at the Baccarat bar.
Yeah.
What is that like?
So, well, first of all, you got to find the place, right? You're in the Bellagio,
Okay, no strip.
hotel and casino, right there on the Las Vegas Strip. And it's sort of nestled in a spot where you're kind of getting a glimpse of the casino action,
Oh, interesting.
but you're also kind of like on the edge of where some of those high-limit gaming areas are.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so you're kind of getting a little bit of both worlds there.
That's cool because it is the strip.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this
It's a sensory overload.
it's this neon wonderland, right? It's just like
Yep.
nonstop and you've got the Bellagio fountains right there
Yeah.
and the like Eiffel Tower from Paris. Like you're really in it.
Yeah, you're in the heart of it all.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So how hard is it to actually get there?
Oh, it's not bad. If you're navigating the Strip, it seems pretty easy to get to if you're coming from other hotels.
Yeah.
The Bally's Paris-Las Vegas station
Okay.
is about a 6-minute walk, so pretty doable. And then the Flamingo Caesars Palace station a little further, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, so very walkable.
Yeah, very
All from most of the main spots.
Exactly.
Well, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious about the atmosphere because I noticed some like really different opinions in the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Some people were like, oh, it's this surprisingly quiet place in this busy area. It's like a little escape.
Right, a little oasis.
But then other people were like, oh, no, it was really loud because you're right there on the casino floor. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that's such an interesting example of how, experience is so subjective, right?
Right.
It probably really depends on when you go,
Oh, for sure.
where you're sitting in the bar, and just, your own personal sensitivity to noise.
Right. Like how much do you need like quiet to feel relaxed?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I think is really interesting is it seems like they're trying to create this like more refined space
Okay.
within this very dynamic, high energy environment. So I'd be curious about like the sound design.
Oh, yeah. Like how are they actually managing that?
Yeah, what are they doing to try to like dampen the sound, or are they embracing it?
Right.
I don't know. It's really fascinating.
I like that because it's Vegas. You almost expect it to be loud,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's also like if you want to have a conversation.
Right. You don't want to be screaming at each other.
Yeah, exactly. So they are going for like a certain kind of feel. And speaking of feel, there were all these mentions of like plush armchairs and couches.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it does seem like they're going for a very specific vibe.
Definitely not your average, grab a stool at the bar type of place.
Right. It sounds much more like upscale lounge.
Yeah, almost like a Monaco,
Yeah. Okay.
Very swanky.
Very swanky. Very nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's not huge. It only has a capacity of just over 100 guests.
Oh, wow. So that is kind of small.
Yeah, it's intimate,
Yeah.
which maybe adds to that, feeling of exclusivity and a certain kind of atmosphere.
Right. So they're not trying to just pack people in.
Exactly.
They're going for like a curated experience.
Quality over quantity, for sure.
I like that. Okay. So we kind of know where it is. We know what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what do you actually get there? Like, what are the drinks like?
Let's talk about the drinks.
Yeah.
So it seems like they have a really extensive menu of martinis and specialty cocktails.
Okay. So that's like their main thing.
Yeah, it seems to be a big draw. Like, they're really known for their cocktails.
Uh,
But they also have a pretty respectable selection of wine liquor and champagne.
okay. So you've got options.
Oh, yeah, you got options.
If you're not a cocktail person.
Exactly. And they even have some, like, really high-end champagnes, like Krug and Dom Perignon.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Yeah, for those who, are looking for the, like, top-tier bubbly experience.
Right. So if you want to celebrate, they've got you covered.
They've got you covered.
Nice. But it sounds like their real focus is on brown spirits,
Yeah.
especially whiskey.
Yeah. Whiskey seems to be their thing. Scotch, Irish, Japanese. They got it all.
Wow. The whole gamut.
Yeah. And one source even said that they have the largest collection of American whiskeys on the property.
Wow. In Vegas, that's saying something.
Right. That's a bold claim
It is.
in a city with so many bars.
So many bars. Yeah.
So they must be serious about their whiskey.
It must be. And it gets even crazier. They have like rare scotch from independent bottlers like Duncan Taylor
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
with some pours costing as much as $7,000 a glass.
That's wild.
That is wild. Like, that's
a story.
right. Like, you're not just having a drink, you're having an experience.
You're having an experience.
And it really speaks to, like, the level of curation and the clientele they're attracting.
Right. Like someone's buying that.
Someone's buying it, and it kind of elevates the whole bar's image, even if you're not the one dropping $7,000 on a glass of scotch.
Oh, totally. It's like you're in the presence of high rollers.
Exactly.
I like it. And they also have this whole thing about private barrel selections.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. I'm curious about that.
So I don't really know much about this, but it sounds like they basically like pick a specific cask of a spirit,
Okay.
like a bourbon or a tequila, like right from the distillery.
Right.
So it's like a unique barrel that has like its own special flavors that you wouldn't find in like the regular bottles.
Oh, that's so cool. So it's like a one-of-a-kind offering.
It is. It's like super curated.
I love it. Yeah. So they had some examples like single-barrel tequilas that are available at all the MGM properties.
Okay.
But then the Bellagio has its own, like, exclusive bourbons from Elijah Craig and Eagle Rare.
Yeah. Very nice.
Which is cool. And then there was this one that I thought was really interesting. A Smoke Wagon single barrel from a craft distillery in Nevada.
Oh, wow. So they're supporting local, too.
Yeah, a little local flavor.
I like that.
I like that, too.
That's really cool.
So we've talked about the menu.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people who've actually been there? Like, what do they say about the drinks?
Yeah, that's the real test, right?
It is. So it sounds like for the most part, the cocktails are really good.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, there were lots of mentions of like the Bellagio Old Fashioned and the cable car.
Classics.
Yeah. And one person even said the cable car was the best in Vegas.
Wow, that's a high bar.
It is high praise.
High praise indeed.
And someone else was raving about the raspberry cobbler.
Ooh, that sounds refreshing.
It does sound good. So it seems like generally you can expect a well-made drink.
Right.
Okay, that's good to hear.
But, you know, not every experience is going to be perfect.
Of course.
And we did see that one negative review about a poorly made cocktail and, like, a rude bartender.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's the service industry.
No.
There's going to be variations.
Yeah, you can't always guarantee a perfect experience.
Exactly. And in terms of, like, how much this is all going to cost, the reviews mention, like, a pretty wide range.
Okay.
Like, somewhere between $10 and $50 per person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which makes sense because you could get, like, a beer for $10, or you could get, like...
A really fancy whiskey.
Yeah, a really fancy whiskey or a super elaborate cocktail.
Yeah, you've got a lot of choices.
Yeah, so price-wise, it's like there's something for everyone.
Right, exactly.
But, you know, it's Vegas, so expect to pay a little bit.
Vegas prices.
Vegas prices.
Okay, so we've covered the drinks, but there's this whole other thing that the Baccarat bar is known for.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Cigars.
The cigar. Tell me about the cigars.
So they have like a really extensive cigar selection. It's clearly geared towards people who really appreciate a good smoke.
So it's not just like an afterthought.
No, they're serious about their cigars.
Okay.
And importantly, it's like a designated cigar-friendly venue.
Oh, so you can actually smoke there.
You can smoke there. It's open 24/7, and part of the reason for that is because they don't serve food.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which allows them to have smoking. And one review even said that, like, if guests complain about the smoke, they're directed to other bars on the property.
Oh, so they're not messing around.
No, they're like, this is a cigar bar.
It is what it is.
If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else, yeah.
And it's also kind of like the de facto bar for the enclosed high-limit gaming area.
Okay.
Where smoking is also allowed, so it kind of serves both purposes.
That's cool.
And they have like a big humidor inside that high-limit section.
Wow, so they're well-stocked.
Very well-stocked. And then they have a smaller humidor behind the main bar itself.
Okay, so they're really ready for the cigar smokers. They're ready for them, and the servers are even trained in how to properly cut and present the cigars.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, it shows they're paying attention to the details.
Definitely.
And they even have these exclusive cigars that are hand-rolled in Little Havana, Miami.
Oh.
With a Bellagio band.
Fancy.
Yeah, very fancy. And those are like $40 to $90 each.
Okay, so those are like the premium cigars.
Yeah, if you want to splurge.
If you want to splurge.
And then for people who are looking for more familiar brands, they have a curated list with names like Arturo Fuente Cohiba and Monte Cristo.
Okay, all the big names.
Yeah, those start around $16 and most are in the $20 range.
Okay, not too bad.
No, not terrible for Vegas.
For Vegas, right. And the most expensive cigar they mentioned was $78.
Okay, so still a splurge, but not as crazy as that $7,000 scotch.
Not quite. It's interesting. One review called the Baccarat Bar a last sanctuary for smokers,
Oh, yeah.
because they used to allow smoking in the Petrossian Bar, but they don't anymore. So this is like the one place left in the Bellagio where you can really,
Light up.
yeah.
Interesting. So they've kind of become like a haven for smokers.
They have.
That's fascinating.
So we've talked about the drinks. We've talked about the cigars.
Mm-hmm.
What about like the overall experience? Like what about entertainment and service?
Yeah. What else is there to do besides drink and smoke?
Right. So historically, it sounds like live jazz music was a big part of the atmosphere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it really contributed to that like timeless, sophisticated vibe they were going for.
Yeah, like a classic Vegas feel.
Exactly. And one reviewer specifically mentioned a pianist named Ray Glover
Yeah.
and said that like all the musicians who played there were really good.
Oh, wow. So they had like high quality live music.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a differentiator, you know?
Definitely. It's not just like the same DJ music you hear everywhere else.
Yeah, or just like generic background music.
Yeah, it's something a little more special, a little more romantic.
A little more romantic. I like it.
Yeah.
But, and this is important, one of the negative reviews said that they got rid of the live jazz.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the reviewer was really bummed that there was no piano and bass anymore.
Wow. So it's not clear if they still have live music regularly.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe they don't.
That's a shame because that really added to the ambiance.
It did. And it's something to look into if you're thinking about going.
Definitely.
Make sure they still have the live jazz, if that's important to you.
Good advice.
So what about the service? How was the service?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Oh, no, not again.
I know, right? Some people raved about it, said it was fast, friendly, attentive.
Okay.
And there's even this really sweet story about a staff member named John
Yeah.
who helped a guest who was having a low blood sugar episode.
Oh, wow, that's above and beyond.
Yeah, he went above and beyond to make sure the guest was okay.
That's awesome.
It's really heartwarming to hear stories like that.
It is. It makes you feel good.
It does.
But then on the other hand, some people said the service was slow or even neglectful.
Ugh, that's the worst.
And there was this one review that was particularly bad about a negative interaction with a hostess.
Oh, no.
About restroom breaks.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was not good.
That's so unprofessional.
It was really disappointing, especially for a place like this.
Yeah, you'd expect a higher level of service.
You would. So it seems like the service could be really hit or miss.
Yeah, it sounds like it depends who you get.
Exactly. So I guess the lesson is cross your fingers.
And hope for the best.
And hope for the best. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
What are the main takeaways for someone who's thinking about going to the Baccarat bar?
Okay, so let's recap.
Let's recap.
So the Baccarat bar, it's kind of this interesting mix, right? It's in the middle of all this high energy casino action, but it's trying to be this more relaxed lounge-like space.
Right, so not totally escaping the Vegas craziness.
No, not totally, but a little bit of a reprieve.
A little bit, yeah.
And it seems like they really cater to people who like drinks.
Okay.
Especially whiskey. Like they have a huge whiskey collection.
They do.
And if you're a cigar smoker, this is your place.
This is the place to be.
Like they're all about it.
They are.
The drinks sound really good.
Yeah.
Especially the cocktails. But like we said, the service can be inconsistent.
Yeah.
So you might have an amazing experience or you might be disappointed.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere, while it could be quieter than the casino floor, it's still going to be lively.
Right. It's still Vegas.
It's still Vegas, and they may not even have live jazz anymore.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
So if you're looking for a quiet romantic spot, this might not be it.
Yeah, maybe not.
And price-wise, it's definitely on the higher end.
Vegas prices.
Vegas prices.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you have it, the Baccarat Bar at the Bellagio.
Mm-hmm.
A place of contrasts.
It is.
So that brings us to the final thought for everyone listening.
Okay, hit me.
If you were to go to the Baccarat Bar, what would be your top priority?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Would it be the drinks?
Maybe those private barrel selections?
Yeah, maybe trying one of those rare whiskeys or a fancy cocktail.
Or what about those cigars?
Oh yeah, if you're a cigar aficionado, this place sounds like heaven.
Right. A
Okay.
haven for smoker?
Haven for smokers, exactly. Or maybe you just want to soak up the atmosphere and people watch.
Yeah, see the high rollers in their natural habitat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But considering that people have had such different experiences there,
Right.
how would you manage your expectations to make sure you have a good time?
That's the key, right?
It is. Because it could be amazing,
It could be.
or it could be a total letdown.
Yeah. So do your research know what you're getting into?
Exactly. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
It's Vegas. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
The Baccarat Bar, just another layer of the Vegas experience.
One of many.
One of many.
All right, cheers to that.
Cheers. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
This was fun.
It was fun.
I always learn something new on these deep dives.
Me too. And until next time, happy travels, everyone.
Oh, a trap.